Hi Jane, this is Philip Farmer with My Touring Coach. Thanks so much for selecting me as your coach for the video analysis here. I did get your video of your backhand and I'm excited to watch it here with you and give you some pointers and critique the stroke and then give you some drills as well to help you improve that shot. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple things before we start the video. I always like to bring up not only critiquing and things we can improve on, but also talk about things that you're already doing very well, in my opinion. Really like how you're transferring your weight onto your right foot. You're really getting a good back to front momentum with your body weight, which helps deliver some more racket speed and give you some extra power and depth in the court. So try to keep continuing to work on that strength on your backhand. Obviously with two hands, the advantage is to have a little bit more power. So when you get your body weight in on that right foot, you help increase that power and that depth as well, which is very important. A couple things that we want to try to look for in this video and continue to work on is, remember the two-handed backhand is basically like a non-dominant hand stroke. So since you're right-handed, it's almost like a left-handed forehand, okay? So when you're hitting that, you can visualize kind of hitting a left-handed stroke with your left hand on the top of that handle, and you can actually even practice that and have somebody feed you some hand-fed balls and hit some left-handed forehands from the service line, and that will also help your backhand stroke on the two-handed side. One thing we want to concentrate on is really trying to make contact out in front, Jane. Sometimes you're letting the ball bounce and get into your space. We want to be really stingy with our hitting zone and our hitting space. So once that ball bounces, we really want to think about going after it with our foot and with our racket head and trying to catch that ball at the top of the bounce, therefore making contact earlier and controlling the ball better. Okay, so out in front is the key to success on that. Another thing is when you take your racket back with both hands, the racket head goes low pretty quickly. Okay, what we want to do is with that top hand, we want to let the racket head come up a little bit and create a loop, if you will, a semicircle that comes up and then drops down below the ball, therefore giving you a little bit of kind of momentum with your racket and with your hands to create some racket head speed through the ball. So racket head goes up, comes down, and then it generates up through the ball. So that's another thing that I think we can work on your backhand. Finally, Jane, what we want to do is we want to try bending that front knee a little bit more. You want to think about hugging the ground with your lower body. So if you can bend that front knee, which the back knee will also bend as well when you do that, you'll get lower to the ground, creating a little bit better balance and position to hitting a cleaner ball. Okay? So let's go ahead and turn this around here and look at the video, and we'll kind of see what we're talking about. So here you go hitting Jane. And so in review, see that momentum, you're going forward, you're finishing on that right foot, looks really, really good, back to front. Also, we can look at that racket, see how it's going down. The first initial set is going down. We want to try to let that go up towards the head and then drop down to create some racket speed and some momentum. And finally, look at that front knee, that right knee is a little straight, okay? Want to make sure we're bending that knee and really getting low and hugging the ground, okay? These are three things, Jane, that I think you can take onto your next private lesson or your next match or your next hitting session, and you can really kind of have three things in mind. Maybe write them down, post them in your tennis notebook, put them in your phone. The three main thoughts, once again, early contact point, making sure it's out in front, not letting the ball get too close to your body, making sure that front knee is bent and you're hugging the ground with your lower body, meaning getting lower to the ground, creating a better base and a better balance. And then finally, making sure your racket head starts up towards the sky or towards your head, and then it drops down below the ball and getting you a little bit better momentum in the back of your stroke. So try to go out and work on these three aspects to the backhand. Check back with me in a week or two, and we'll see where you're at. I'd like to know how you're doing with that and then where we can go further with it. So thanks again for selecting me as your coach, and all the best on the course, Jane. Bye now.